wanted to know what was wrong. I had to find out what it was. And
the first thing I wanted to have is no toxic cleaning products.
Just because you have brain change doesn't mean you can't still do things. You may do it differently. You might need more time.
I decided to turn my disability into my ability, and around 7th and 8th grade, I started playing able-bodied sports.
If we were knowledgeable, if we were educated, we would have solved science earlier.
you battle and you battle for every single inch of help.
A New Perspective, hosted by Tim Sutton.
This broadcast is produced by Griffo Productions. Brought to you by A Better Understanding, giving you a better understanding.
Hey everybody, this is Tim Sutton, trying to give you a new perspective. This is show number 6 of 3rd season. I appreciate everybody being here and listening and watching and pretty much educating yourself on different populations. We talk about disabilities, and which I prefer to call differabilities. Everybody has abilities. It's sometimes people do things a little bit different. So a little background on me. I'm a retired law enforcement officer, 34 years. Spent about the last 20 working with people dealing with and families dealing with differabilities. And luckily I retired in December. Don't have to put the uniform on it. I can focus a little more on working with families and individuals with differabilities and doing some events just if locally in the Richmond, Virginia area. We're having an event at August 12th in Mechanicsville, Virginia. I believe it's 1 to 4, and we're having a dance party for individuals with differabilities. So if you're local, check it out. It's abetterunderstanding.org. You can go on there, see what we're all about, our nonprofit, and register to come to the party. We're going to have a really good time. So just if you're not too familiar with the show, what I try to do is bring people on to have conversation, whether they have a differability or they're doing amazing things in the differability community. And today we've reached all the way out to Texas. And I've got my friend here, Michelle Caro, who is with the city of Grapevine Parks and Rec, who's doing amazing things with individuals with differabilities and really focusing on them. So I'd like to welcome her on.
Hi.
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
I'm great. And you?
I am doing very well. I appreciate you being here tonight. And like I was telling the audience is, well, I just like to highlight people who are making an impact on the disability community, and was made aware of what you've got going on with the Parks and Rec, and hoping you could share some of that.
Well, thank you, Tim. Thank you for having me on to spread the word about what we're doing here in Grapevine, Texas, which is awesome. The Club All Access program is a program that was started 5 years ago. This program was started by a citizen request of saying the community wasn't doing enough for this population. And then I got the phone call after that to say, what do I think about starting a program for adults with disabilities? Since then, the program definitely has grown from 6 to now 28 students that we are facilitating at the Rec of Grapevine.
That's great. That's great. So your background lends itself to this. Can you give us a little bit about your background?
My degree, I have a degree in therapeutic recreation, but in the going on, can't believe it, almost 20 years that I've worked for the city. I have worked in different capacities like event coordinator, recreation coordinator. So this was the first time I'm able to actually use what I went to school for. So very excited about that.
Well, that's unusual in itself, because so many people go to college and what they get into. I've got a business degree and I went into law enforcement. So
exactly.
A lot of times you go into something completely different, but you're actually able to use. It took a while, but you can use that degree to really push and advocate and do the things that you want to do and help the people that you want to help. Exactly.
Like I said, this program has definitely been not only life-changing to the individuals I serve, but also to myself. Until I dove into researching what providing such a service is all about. This is, what it entailed. I never knew that it was such a need, and how many individuals, especially once they leave the educational system, everybody think that they're done, but they're not. And so then they're stuck at home with aging parents where nowhere to turn. So I am just so excited that I'm able to provide something like this for them.
Yeah, I've heard so many parents talk about that. I know in Virginia, any type of disability, individuals from age 2 to 22, they can go to public schools. And the question is, okay, what happens after that? And that's one thing our nonprofit and I'm trying to push is getting job coaches out there, trying to teach life skills to individuals so they can go out there and work jobs and live life just like everybody else, because that is a scary situation for a family or parents to wonder, okay, what happens? What do we do now that they're out of high school or out of school?
Yes.
Where are we going to plug them into the community? And I work for, well, you probably never heard of it because mostly on the East Coast, but grocery store chain named Wegmans, and up and down the East Coast, and they're very big into hiring individuals with differabilities and giving them opportunities.
That's awesome.
And we need more employers to do that.
Exactly. And that's one thing the rec does. I mean, with such, a fun environment and laid back as recreation and, rec centers, we do provide the opportunities for individuals to come in and work, because we're all about customer service, and they're great. They're great with that. They're great with, making sure individuals feel good when they come in. So it's definitely worked out.
So what are the primary goals of Club All Access? What do you see as your goals of that program?
Our goal is to, of course, service as many individuals with special needs as possible. But our goal is to just provide them with a safe environment and offer them activities geared towards building their social skills, relationship building skills, life skills, vocational skills, but mainly really just fostering those friendships, those bonds that they build, and keeping them connected to the community is our major goals.
Well, that's awesome, because building those relationships is key, because, you look at the world of disability, special needs, and that ugly thing called bullying rears its head.
Yes.
And many of these individuals are having to deal with that. But to be able to come to your program, come to you and hook up with somebody who can be that friend, that trusting friend that's not out there bullying, trying to take advantage, that's families are grateful for that. The individuals dealing with it are grateful for that. So I think that's absolutely awesome.
Yes. And Tim, if you can only imagine somewhere where you know that you're different, but you're able to come in and be yourself, and everybody cheers you on for who you are. It's just the best feeling ever to see them just come out of their shells. Because, we also always tell them they are talented, and, they have special talents. Like I said, some of them have, no more than we do. As far as, like I said, I have one that can just you can tell them your birthday one time and they never forget. And I'm like, how special is that? Like, you're awesome. But just encouraging them and letting them know they can do anything, and just fostering that environment where they feel that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had a gentleman one time ask me what my birthday was, and he wanted to know the year I was born, and was able right then to tell me the day of the week I was born on. And if you gave him any date, previous date, he could tell you exactly what day it was during that year, and it's amazing.
Yes, and we cheer on those special gifts like that. Is what we hone in on, and just to let them know how special they are. This is uniquely to them.
Yeah, and for my law enforcement background, I originally started with what you call invisible disabilities, where you can't look at somebody and tell that there's something different. They may have autism or something else. They look just like everybody else, but they may have social interaction challenges, communication challenges, that repetitive behavior, and all. But a lot of times I think individuals see individuals in wheelchairs, non-communicative, if that's a word. But their minds work in some cases better than somebody who's neurotypical. They don't have that intellectual disability. They may have a developmental disability. They can't perform these tasks. But I think we you end up finding people talking around them about them like they're not even there.
Exactly.
And that's that wall we've got to bring down. Everybody matters. And one thing I say when I teach, I tell everybody, every single person has something to say.
Yes.
You just got to figure out how to say it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's what y'all are doing.
Yep.
That's what y'all are doing. Do you have many of your?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask, do you have many of your athletes actually, or individuals participate that actually compete in the Special Olympics?
Well, we recently started competing in Special Olympics, but several of them have already been competing with other teams. But we recently started ours this year. So we got to form our first team that we participated in track and field. Now we're gearing up for bowling. But these guys, what I've learned, they have been involved in whether it's Miracle League, Special Olympics for years. Right. So we are glad that we are also able now to offer that to them because we are a family. And so now they can have it right here with us, with their friends who they're with on a day in, day out basis, and they can compete together.
Wow.
Yes.
And so the program's been 5 years? Is 5 years going?
Yes, this is our 6th year. We run on like a school, we run on a school schedule. So from say September through May is when we run. And then during the summer, we have our summer program. So we are Monday, Wednesday, Friday program, 9 to 2. We now offer what I call elective classes for those that are not able to get in our program or for those who want an extended day. We now offer adaptive fitness, adaptive cooking, and adaptive art. Tim, like I said, there is a huge need. We service 28 students in our classroom. There's 5 staff. And in our program, if you're not able to follow simple directions or feed yourself, things like that, you are able to have a caregiver. So we have 3 individuals that do come with caregivers, which is awesome because they're in our room. Some of them are parents. And we get, like I said, feedback instantly on what we're doing, how we're doing it, if we can change it. And I think that is what makes our program so great because the staff is always, they are giving 110% every time they're there. So that is awesome. But we are there, like I said, we have right now 26 individuals on the wait list.
Wow.
Which is just amazing. So, every day I think, how can I get these guys off of this wait list? What else can be done? So
what do you think you need for that to happen?
Well, definitely I need space, more space. I'm going to say more space and more staff.
Okay.
I wish I can duplicate myself because it is a lot of work for a quality program. And so the 3-day-a-week allows us to regroup Tuesday, Thursdays, to do a lot of the planning for the program. So my thought is hopefully in the future to maybe find a way to program those other days, but maybe put a twist on what we're doing. Because I figure if we give just a little, it's better than nothing.
Nothing at all.
And so, so if they can come in and spend a couple of hours with each other, then like I said, that's better than nothing. So just thinking of how I can get those individuals off that waiting list. And, because who knows when with 28, and like I said, it's not like a school. So the 28 that I have, they're not going anywhere unless they decide to move away or something happens, job. But for the most part, they're not going anywhere. So if we as a community don't do anything, those 26 is going to continue to grow and they're going to be sitting there.
Right.
So.
And it's still, wow. So if anybody in your area or anywhere wanted to get in touch with you about maybe working with you, assisting you, or if they've got one who they're interested in having them participate, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you and the city of Grapevine, the Parks and Rec?
Yes, they can email me at mcaro@grapevinetexas.gov, and that's Texas with the TX. Or just contact the Rec of Grapevine, ask for Michelle Caro, and they definitely would be transferred to me.
Okay.
But definitely hoping that, I can continue to connect with different venue organizations within the Metroplex that can help assist with job training, volunteering services. Like I said, my goal is to keep these guys connected to the community. And the more and more businesses, like you say, that offer different services for them to be out there, the better it is.
Understood. What do you think makes, it sounds like it's blowing up, but you've got so much more interest than you can, I guess, deal with right now, that you can't accommodate everybody, but you want to.
Yes.
What do you think has made it such a success?
Well, I tell you, I don't know about many other programs, but we interview each participant that comes through our program. And I'm going to tell you, my success into keeping these guys excited is pouring back into the program what they love doing. So each interview, I listen, and it might just be their favorite song or their passion for theater or whatever it is, fitness, to be the best that they can be. I make sure I listen and pour it right back in. So they don't know it, but they're building the program because it's for them. And that has just been the success for the program.
So you're just facilitating the opportunity for them to
yes
make it pretty much.
Yes, I want to know their passions, what they want, and then I try to offer it. Try my best to offer that to them. But
so it's so much more than a daycare. It's really taking an active role in their lives and helping to mold them. And I can only imagine how appreciative the families are that you're doing this.
I have gained 28 families. Yes, they are very appreciative. They're very supportive. They're like, whatever you need to keep this program here and keep it growing. So yes, awesome families. And I can say, Tim, the most challenging, but we have definitely been blessed, is to foster 28 individuals, all different levels, under one roof. And what we offer transcends across to all of them.
Wow.
It's been amazing. I can't even explain, but it is amazing. Life-changing. Definitely, like I said, not just for them, but for us.
Right. Well, you went to college and you got that degree. What made you want to get that degree? Was there anything in particular in your earlier years that really lit that fire under you?
Well, I tell you, Tim, now you know how you just try to skirt around things. Well, my family was a family of individuals that were in the medical field.
Okay.
So my first initial thought was, well, I don't want to be a nurse. I don't want to be a doctor. Let's do physical therapy. And then I got to school and realized the curriculum for physical therapists was not what I wanted. So therapeutic recreation landed in my lap.
Wow.
And who knew that, 20 plus years down the road, this is where I would land.
Do you have that one aha moment or one individual that you worked with or dealt with that really directed you that way, or even somebody that you finally realized what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing? And you obviously have a passion for it. That's what people tell me about what I do. But is there that one individual or one situation that really turned that key to the ignition and you said, yeah, this is where I'm going?
Well, I can tell you that I've been very thankful for the leadership that I have. They've always been able to see past more than what I can see in myself, and say, hey, you will be a good fit for this. And, once they said it and I moved on, it was like, wow, this is it. And like I said, I thought I had reached the best thing, the best job that I could until they called me back, because I was gone for a year. I became a mom. I left the city and I got the phone call that this is what they were wanting to do, and they thought I would be the best person for it.
Oh, wow.
And once again, you question me, but once you pray on it, and I stepped out, and like I said, Tim, after 20 plus years, these 5 years have just been amazing. Amazing to finally know that you're giving back, and you can see their faces and that they are so thankful and excited every time you walk in. And like you said, the families are grateful. So,
oh, yeah. I mean, and with our nonprofit, what we try to do, and y'all along the same pathway, I guess, but looking at a lot of people with differabilities, they're the ones that had the birthday party and sent the invitations out, but nobody showed up. Or they invited somebody, or they never got invited to other people's birthday parties. So that's what we're trying to do, is have these parties and events for them. We've even got our own Santa Claus. We trained up Santa Claus on understanding differability. And we have Christmas parties where they get to, a lot of them have not had the opportunity to come in and sit with Santa Claus, because it's tough to go to a mall if you have a differability, if you can't handle the crowds and waiting in line. So we afford that opportunity to them, and they get to see and visit with Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. That is
awesome. That is awesome. Like I said, just being able to do those little things means so much to them.
Yeah, and that's, I've had a lot of people ask me why I got involved in it, and it happened because I got assigned to run a program for the agency, the police department I was working for. And, everybody asks me now, what is your link to this? Do you have a child or family member with a differability? And I'm like, no, my father, he just passed in April of Parkinson's. He dealt with that for many years. But no, it's developed a passion just like you, and you see the need, and you see how appreciative all parties involved are, and you just love doing it.
Exactly. And like you said, I have a stepson with autism.
Okay.
22, and never thought, that, once again, trying to understand his world.
Right.
And now this opportunity has even provided me that. Now I can understand, and, and really now being able to communicate differently with him, which has been awesome in itself.
That's great. I mean, that's absolutely awesome. Have you had other cities, Parks and Recs, reach out to you trying to kind of copy what you're doing?
Yes. Our facility get visited a lot. It's one of the newer facilities. Okay. So we have a lot of cities coming through, and they're thinking about renovating their facilities. And so they walk by and they want to know, what is that? What is going on here? What is this program?
Right.
Because they realize this is something that they don't have. And so they want to know how we do it, and so that's great in itself, that Grapevine is doing this, that we're on the map. And like I said, a lot of people, a lot of cities, have not gotten there yet. So I'm so excited that Grapevine decided, like I said, or the citizen noticed that need, and Grapevine jumped right on it and said, yes, let's fulfill this need.
That's wonderful. So
yes.
What's the future? What's the future look like for the program?
Tim, like I said, I just hope that I am able to provide some type of service, continue doing what we're doing and growing.
Right.
But also, no matter, even with the limitations that I have, try to continue to offer services that get these guys off the couch, get them involved, continue to foster friendships, because the last thing I want them to think that they're forgotten. So that is my goal, is to continue to push forward, and the best where I can with the limitations that I do have, just continue to build on that.
Well, that's great. That's great. So So again, your contact information, if anybody wants to get involved,
Yes.
if other cities across the country want to find out what you're doing, give us the best way to get in touch with you.
Like I said, it's mcaro@grapevinetexas.gov, and that's with TX, or just go to our website at gograpevine.com/adaptive-rec, and you'll see and you can read about the Club All Access program. And also my contact information is on that website also.
That's absolutely awesome. Well, I can tell you, if I ever get a teaching job or something, I've traveled the country teaching autism, Alzheimer's, intellectual disability, and all. If I ever get an opportunity to get out to Texas again, I've been out there a couple times. But
Yes.
if I ever get out there again, I'm definitely going to meet up with you and see what you got going on out there.
Definitely come and visit us in Grapevine.
That's awesome. Well,
Thank you, Tim.
Any parting words for anybody you want to share? Anything else on your mind you just want to tell people?
Just know that individuals with disabilities, they are just like us. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, and just don't dismiss them. Just like I said, definitely, embrace them. If lack of words, embrace them.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
You're definitely doing that in Grapevine, and I appreciate it. And it's been great to meet you. And I just
Thank you,
appreciate
Tim.
taking your time to come on to talk to me and talk to everybody out there about what you're doing.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody, hope there's so many things going on in the disability, whatever you want to call it, the community. But taking people who are stepping out and seeing that need and having that passion and love for people who are not quite like them. Again, they may have a differability. The fact is, everybody has abilities, but some people just do it differently. And that's why we use the word differability. So look them up. Look up the City of Grapevine Parks and Rec and find out everything about Michelle, what they've got going on. And if you're out there, go visit, try to get involved. The more people, the better. And, here locally where I am, near Richmond, Virginia, I'm with our nonprofit. Again, it's abetterunderstanding.org. If you're local to Richmond area, please go to that website. We have parties, we have events for individuals with differabilities. August 12th, we're having a dance party. We've got DJs, we got food. Wegmans Stores is supplying all the food. And we just want to have a big party for those individuals. And again, you can look forward to December, where we're having another Christmas party. I believe it's the 10th of December. If you're in the Richmond area, please go online and register. We do ask that you register for these things because we want to know who's coming, how many are coming, just so that we can be prepared. But hopefully you heard something today that might spark an interest for you. And maybe you want to go out there and try to make a difference and make a huge impact for these families and these individuals. We want to advocate for those individuals, and we want to help teach them how to advocate for themselves. So we're doing it here in Virginia. Michelle's doing it in Texas. People are doing it all over the country. Find a way to just get in there and help work with these families and these individuals. They matter. And we need to treat them like they matter, because they do. And just go out there and try to make a difference. So thanks for watching. And I appreciate everybody being here. And Dad, I love you. Thanks for watching.